Hi everybody, Kim Wilson here, and I'm back with our second card for the February card class. And this one is using the fragrant flowers bundle, which goes along with the Favored Flowers designer series paper. And I just love this paper. It's such bold, bright colors, and then it's got black backgrounds. So we're going with black in today's card class for two of the cards, the one we just did and this one too, because it really makes it pop. So just a quick peek at the dies. There's cutouts for the large flower, the smaller flower, some extra leaves. There's this fun little embossed piece, some labels. And again, the dies cut out some of the flowers from the paper, which I have in my kits for everybody to use. And then you'll just need to add a sentiment. If you don't have a big hello like that, you can find something from your stash. And we'll go ahead and get started on this second card. And this is our favorite layout card, and I'm calling it a paper saving layout because, well, you'll see that in a minute when I start putting it together. So I'll get my black card base here ready to go. And because we're using a black card base, again, we're going to have to put a light colored insert inside. So your kit will have a piece of basic white for the inside that you can decorate it how you choose. And I'm using here the, let's see, deckled rectangle dies. But for this paper saving technique, you can use any set of nesting dies. And Stampin' Up! Has quite a few different sets. We've got stitched rectangles, beautiful shapes, scallop contours, stylish shapes. So lots of different options for that. Okay, so my designer series paper was cut the usual size to make a mat, but instead of using a totally separate piece for this piece and this piece, what I did was cut my smaller rectangle right from the center. So this piece is going to be my background piece, but I'm doing things a little differently because I really like both sides of my paper. So the other side of this particular paper has some pretty patterns in the matching colors that match the flowers. So that looks really pretty together, just like this one matched that from the same piece. And so I'll just start putting it together here. And so it's a great way to save on your prettiest paper that you don't want to waste. So you can get, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of these cards out of a sheet of 12 by 12 paper by just using that little technique to cut the extra pieces. And then you'll have the next bigger die is what you'll use to cover up that piece that you cut out. So we're going to put this panel together separately because I'm using dimensionals to put these two layers together. As you can see, I think that just gives it a little bit more of a pop and really I'm having a little more dimension by doing it that way. So this piece is going to go on this deckled piece, and altogether I used 3 of the nesting dies because I also used it on our little sentiment there. So the deckled ones. Do you guys remember back when we had the deckled scissors? So it's kind of fun to have this back. And as usual, I think I forgot to put dimensionals out. So, well, I do have this sheet of the minis from the last class, so I'll just go ahead and use some of the mini dimensionals here and get that panel put together. Take your pick tool apart here. All right, back to what I was doing. Get these little bits off of here and put that panel on, and then we're going to decorate, stamp, and adhere our sentiment. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. All right, so I'm just using basic black, but you could use any of the coordinating colors. I think they were the darker colors I like for the sentiment, so I would use I think it was Evening Evergreen, maybe Blackberry Bliss, and maybe Rich Razzleberry. Any of those darker colors would do really good for the sentiment. That's a really bold stamp, so sometimes the black doesn't do as well as the firm foam pads. All right, so that's going to go on there again with some, oh, I guess I didn't put dimensionals on this time because I put dimensionals on the other piece. So we'll just glue that on there. And everybody should have a little embellishment in their kit, and that's one of the die cuts. So it had this little bud, it had a couple of leaves. So you'll have one of those. That just saved me some die cutting, so I could cut out 3 at once. I have to do a lot of die cutting for class kits, so it takes a while. All right, so we'll stick on that leaf with a little bit of liquid glue. Of course, if I had remember to use the adhesive sheets, it would have been easier to stick that on, but it seems like I usually forget to do that. All right, so there's that card, and I wanted to show you some more samples using that paper saving layout. So here's one I did with the scalloped contours dies. You can see the scallops here, and they have different types of scallops, each different layer, but it is a layering die. So again, if I turn it sideways, you can see where I've got the dimensionals under there. And this one I did pop up with more dimensionals on the top, and I just kind of kept layering and layering them together. So there's that one, and then this one I did with the Stitch Shapes dies, and I did the square. And then I added one of the die cut flowers to the top. And I put a little wink of Stella on top. I don't know if you can see that shimmer, but that's another way to add a little something. And I added some gems as well. So all of those products are listed, except I didn't put the gems down there. I'll have to look up and see what those are, but it's something that we have currently because they go along really, really nicely with this paper. So there's the layout card for today, and it would work with circles, ovals, any sort of nesting dies. So just cut out the smaller one, then layer on a larger one, and then the smaller one on top of the layered cardstock. And oh, this I actually used the label from the Stylish Shapes as well. Those dies keep going out of stock, so I think they're in stock on low inventory again right now, but they're just constantly in and out. So Stylish Shapes dies, if you get a chance to get those into your toolkit, I think you'll really enjoy those. Let me see if I have any more. Oh, here's one also with Stylish Shapes, and this one I used the circles. So, and again, I put the die cut flower on top, and this is one of the banners right from the Fragrant Flowers stamp set. So there you go, our favorite layout, and I'll be back in just a minute with our technique. We're going to do some watercoloring. Oh, and before I forget, I did want to mention that the inside you can decorate however you like, but try a different technique if you want. Here I tried the no line watercoloring technique on this rose. So I stamped in the in Sahara Sand, which is our lightest color, and then watercolored, did some watercolor pencils, and kind of traced the different petals, and then blended it a little bit. Here I just stamped in Petal Pink the rose around the edges. Let's see. This one I didn't do anything yet. This one I tried some multiple colors with the watercolor pencils. So we've got some yellows and purples all together and then blended. So try a different technique on the inside of your card, and hope you have fun. If you want, post your projects on our group. I'd love to see them. Happy crafting.